So starting. Hi everybody, this is GHD Shade, and we are back with another video from League of Legends, and this one's going to be on standard bot lane rotations. Now, I haven't been here in a while, but hopefully we can just jump back into things and give you guys the content you've been wanting. Alright, so warning, these rotations are usually limited to Gold Plus, just because lower than that, the rotations don't really work out. And it's actually really hard to execute if your team's not together with it. So we gotta be a little bit careful. So this is a standard. This is just something I see all the time in my solo queue. Bot lane wins. They take out the enemy team, ADC and support. They're dead, and we kill this tower. So effectively, this tower is gone. It's just not there anymore. And then the bot lane will recall immediately, go back to base, and then all of a sudden they'll just go straight back to bot lane, and it is the worst thing I have ever seen. Every time I see this, it really makes me want to cry, because you're just giving up so much tempo and advantage unless you're planning to do some really cheeky stuff, which most people aren't really coordinated enough for. I'm going to show you guys some easier things to do. So normally, what you can easier do is option A. You can go ahead and ADC and support, they recall. This is assuming Dragon is dead. So ADC and support recall. Then you go ahead and ADC head straight to top lane. The top laner notices that they're recalling, tries to push his wave out a little, and then leaves. He just takes base when he can, or when his top lane gets there, that's fine, and he just walks down to bottom. So he's bottom now, ADC is over here. Support from base does not take a direct path to top lane, because you got to keep yourself safe. So hopefully at this point you'll have your wards from your upgraded quests. Before it was Sightstone, and this be a little easier, but hopefully your quest is upgraded by this time, and you can just take this route. So what you do is you go ahead and you walk through your own jungle, you come up, and you drop a ward. You drop a ward to the back here. You drop one right here. So let's place a ward here on the screen. You place a ward here, and you place the final ward in the river here. So actually, yeah, you start here, place one there, and you come around and you take that there. All the time the ADC is top lane farming. Hopefully they haven't been there too long, or else they could get attacked by the enemy top laner. But the enemy top laner probably knows what's going to happen, and is probably backing off and trying not to let this happen. So normally right here is where people would stop, and this is actually not the best position. This is just a swap on the other side of the map, and ADC support alone aren't really strong enough to get strong on this tower, because enemy jungler could easily come over here and stop this. So what junglers need to do is come and join with the support for those wards, and then make sure he joins top with the team. He can do a little farming here if possible, but honestly his focus should be on getting these wards down and moving into top side. Now with three top your top laner in bottom lane with teleport, what does your mid laner do? Well, hopefully your mid laner isn't losing completely, because otherwise this gets a little bit harder, as the enemy mid is more free to roam. If your mid is more free to roam, then this is fine, and this is basically foolproof. All your mid has to do is play up to center line, ward his left, and just play left. Everywhere around him is warded. So the only thing they can do is jump from this brush over here to this brush, and then get next to him to be able to stop him. So as long as he stays here, if he sees something going on that he didn't particularly like top lane, let's say there's more of them top responding than they would like, then he just moves to top, and now it's a 4v3 or 4v4, and you still have your top laner with teleport in the bottom, so you're totally fine. See, he moves back down here. So then that's option 1, and that easily gives you top tower, and then you move into Rift Herald with mid lane. That's fine. Now let's say you're doing this whole thing and you based, but Dragon is still up, and it's a decently important Dragon. For some reason, you couldn't get it when a bot lane tower went down. So let's pull everything back. what we would actually do is we would go ahead and with jungle again. See, jungle's a little important for these parts because it's because he's, you know, random man on the map, so he's got to come in to help on these things, and it makes them, you know, a lot safer. So after you take the wave, this is what applies to the other thing too. You clear off the next wave if it's safe, assuming you're not about to get ganked by top laner coming in when you have low HP bars, or the enemy junglers and assassin again when you have low HP bars and enemy mid. You clear the extra wave, you take the recall, and now the wave is going to be squarely right here. It may be a little closer actually, hitting the tower. You hit the recall and you make a beeline to dragon. You go ahead into Drake. The support wards. You know, you standard dragon wards. You pink ward the pit. That's a green, but you know you're supposed to pink ward the pit. You're supposed to green ward here, green ward here. Well, here or here, depending on threat level. If you need to see them coming from a mile away, then there. If you don't really need to see them that far, then here. In fact, you can actually just 3 green wards here, pink ward here. You can do something like that. That's totally possible. You take the Drake and then you walk up to mid lane. Maybe you put a little bit of pressure on the enemy mid laner. They move back. You get some farm, and then you move to top lane for an easy rotation. Now you might be asking in all of these, why is no one moving to mid lane like people normally do? And that's actually one of the things that usually gets me upset is people going to mid lanes, because mid lane is the hardest tower to take and the quickest one people on the map will look to defend because it's so close to them. Getting there isn't really a problem. So if you try to take mid lane, even with your ADC and support and mid lane are there, enemy mid most likely has some wave clear. That's not an easy tower to take. Maybe your jungler's fucking off somewhere and he's not coming. But even if he does, you know, he's melee, so he has to be, you know, starting a fight or something to be effective. So that's really weird too. Even then, enemy jungler, like just 2 people coming over here can put a whole stop. And this is what normally happens. It's 4v3 in the mid lane, but they have towers, so you're not going to dive that unless you're ridiculously ahead. So then you end up just dicking around in the mid lane. ADC gets most of the farm, or ADC and mid are starting to split farm for whatever reason. Mid lane doesn't realize he needs to go bottom to get farm and just pull back if needed, or top and top goes bot. Whatever, you know, is necessary depending on summoner spells like TP, what's up on the map, Rift Herald, Dragon, stuff like that. So just going to mid is not a good idea. It doesn't work out. So then option C, right? I'm going to show you how to do mid lane properly. The way to do mid lane properly, and I could be wrong with some of these things, but you know, this is what I feel should happen, is immediately at this point, the mid laner, assuming that they have, let's say the mid laner has teleport. It's an easy swap. Mid goes bottom, ADC and support go mid, ADC gets the farm, support comes to mid, takes some free wards the sides up, they play to left side, the jungle comes, they easily whiff the support, they go ahead and they make sure Rift Herald is clear, and the team comes and they take Rift Herald free because the jungler and support can easily duel Rift Herald. The ADC can even come over to make it a little faster, but then obviously they're leaving mid lane open. And then it's very easy to tell where you're on the map. If everybody just went left and they haven't appeared for a while and they're not top, that would put some pressure on top, but then someone's going to come around from the back, presumably the enemy jungler, and probably just ward that, and then you're seen, and then that's a whole fight. Your mid laner has teleport, but again, you don't want to have to blow that summoner spell if you don't want to. Let's say we move back. So what you can also just do is have, like, let's say the mid laner doesn't have teleport, and let's say the mid laner doesn't have teleport, then the mid laner would go top laners usually carry teleport, they would go bottom, and then you just do the same sort of play. Maybe the enemy team responds with a swap here, and stuff like that. Okay, so these are basically the standard rotations, what can happen, and what's ideally supposed to happen. But now, obviously, these things don't always work depending on if, let's say, the top laner is super ahead and you can't swap into that freely. let's say their mid lane are super ahead, and that's hard to get to. Maybe your jungler is super behind and doesn't want to help with any of these things. Maybe he thinks he'll get out smited or something like that because he's not confident. These little things can change. It's not organized play. We're not in LCS, so it's a lot harder to pull these off. But generally in the game, this is this type of stuff you want to go for. You want to move your man advantage around strategically to take the outer turns, which are easier to get than the middle turns. And then when you have advantages such as Baron or Rift Herald, go ahead and take the mid towers because it's a lot easier when you have Rift Herald or Baron minions backing you up. Or obviously you'll take them if you have a advantage such as 3 enemy team dead, 4 enemy team dead, stuff like that. Alright, thanks guys for watching, and that's the video. Shit, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Alright, that's it.